All right, welcome to week 5 of BAD 2710, Human Relations and Leadership. This week, we'll start our look at part 4, Leadership and Influence Process in the Organizations, by covering chapters 11 and 12, and then we'll start part 5 by looking at chapter 13. In chapter 11, our focus will be on traditional leadership approaches. First, we must understand leadership, what it is. As you'll see from our readings, leadership is both a process and a property. From a process perspective, we think of the act of leading or using non-coercive influence to direct and coordinate the activities of a group, all focused on achieving the goals of the organization. In years past, research has focused on identifying leadership traits, whether that leadership trait focused on the job or the people. However, newer leadership focuses on situational application of specific styles of leadership. To simplify this, think about these different scenarios that you may be placed in. A crew leader fighting a fire, a team lead developing a new software application, or a military leader entering into a training cycle. Certainly, each of these requires leadership to get the team to accomplish the goals. But how? Is there a sense of urgency, criticality, or do the leaders in any of these scenarios have an ability to slow things down and use the time as a learning experience? I'm sure you can see that each requires a different style of leadership. In chapter 12, we'll continue this look by examining contemporary leadership. One of the most critical elements of this analysis is understanding yourselves as a leader. What are your strengths and weaknesses? How do you apply these skills that you have to get the organization's employees focused on the outcomes? Or more specifically, how do you get the employees to follow your lead? Think back on previous lessons and focus on the motivation factor. 3 key areas that come to the forefront are transformational leadership, or leading for change, charismatic leadership, leadership based on the charisma of the leader itself, and alternatives to leadership, a discussion about whether or not we even need a leader. Lastly, as I said in part 5, organizational processes and characteristics, we'll look at chapter 13, power, influence, and politics. Now, I don't want you to think of politics in terms of what we see today in the political environment. I want you to think of politics in terms of influencing others toward achievement of a goal. That is the key to skill in leadership, the ability to influence. When we think of power and authority, we can look at this in the 7 categories described in your text: legitimate power, reward power, coercive power, expert power, information power, referent power, and persuasive power. Now, some of these are obviously positive and can increase the strength of the organization. But as you can imagine, coercive power is less impactful for developing employee relations and performance. It's important to analyze each of these and determine which of these is the most effective method for your organization. Now, your activities for this week include, in MindTap, reading chapters 11 through 12, doing the chapters 11 through 13, doing the chapters 11 through 13 self-assessments, you make the decision assignments, and quizzes. In My Learning, you'll review chapter 11 through 12 PowerPoint slides, complete the chapter 13 case study assignment, Influencing Decisions. That's on page 445 of your e-text. And the discussion on chapter 11, the video case Fired from Her Job. She launched a cupcake empire. As always, remember to have your initial post in by Wednesday night, use references in your writing, and use the remainder of the week to engage in meaningful discussion. I hope each of you has a great week, and as always, I look forward to seeing your work in class. Thank you.